media and social listening for remarkable CX and enduring customer retention. I invite our speaker, Ms. Asmi Gandhi, Head of Digital Marketing, Home First Finance Company. Ms. Gandhi is the Head of Digital Marketing at Home First Finance Company, with experience from previous roles at Home First Finance, Self-Employed and Happy Minds. Holding an MBA in Business Management, Asmi brings expertise in digital marketing, a proven track record of success.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say just social media savvy people, and you would be wondering, why am I saying good morning? Dude, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But after this scrumptious lunch, isn't it that anybody will feel asleep after, or just become a victim of this nap? So let's just forget about this, and I'm super excited about the topic which I'm presenting today, and let's dive head first into it. It's all about, it's hotter than the trending hashtag, let me just tell you. It's magnifying social media and social listening for customer retention and loyalty, and it should last more than the viral meme that is going around. So let me first paint this picture. Imagine you are at a coffee shop, you're just entering at a coffee shop, and there's this couple sitting next to you. They're having coffee and they're just talking about your brand right now. What are the chances that you will sit there and not interact with those people? It's zero. You'll definitely go there, you'll interact with them, and you'll introduce yourself, and you'll thank them for the business they are bringing to you. This is something that is happening offline. Social listening is something similar that will happen online and at a scale. It's just this coffee shop conversation, but it's just going online. In the world, in the digital age, where every click, swipe, and impression matters, what is important to you is capturing those moments and understanding your consumers at that point of time. In fact, let me just, sorry, I didn't just start with the presentation because I was just too overwhelmed with the topic which I'm presenting today. So we are going to talk about what's social listening, emerging trends over here, challenges which we are facing, case studies, and the conclusion. Won't take much of your time. But 60% of the consumers say they have made a purchase based on the social media recommendations. How many of you have actually purchased something after seeing it on social media? You can just raise your hands over it. Yeah, it could be a little less over here what I'm seeing. But let me introduce, there comes a very interesting topic. Something is called social monitoring and social listening. So a lot of people could relate to what I'm saying right now, but where the difference is created, how many of you will think of responding to it? So observing is the part where you're monitoring what is going about your brand, what people are saying, what are their feelings about your brands, all of it. And social listening is one step ahead. When you decide to interact over it, to meet people, to talk to people about it and change their experiences if it's the bad or the ugly one. So why social media? So how many of you have ever posted on Instagram, Facebook, or shared your experiences or feelings over there? You can again raise your hands. I'm so sorry that I'm making you exercise like this all again. Okay, so not a lot of people raising their hands, but the thing is that yes, most of us are active on social media and we do express ourselves over there. But the thing here is that social media is not just about friends or reel scrolling or something like that. Even the digital marketers now need to be on social media. Does your brand even exist if you are not on social media in the current scenario, in the current situation? It is that vital, and it's not just keeping up with the trend, but you have to ace it. You have to be one step further if you want to be there in the market. So that's what was all about social media, where content is the lifeblood of the digital marketing, whether it's blog, post, reels, videos, infographics, whatever it is, how you distribute. The art of distribution is the main game. But the battle doesn't end over there. That's just when the battle is starting. How you have distributed your content, people are looking into it. But what next? How are they reacting to it? How are they feeling about it? Are they expressing anger about it? Are they feeling good about it? Are they willing to bite again? That's the important piece where we are going to understand why social media listening. So you have developed a new product or you're launching a new campaign. How much will it resonate with the customer? How do you know about it? You go to the source, you ask them. You ask, you can do a lot of polls, you can do a lot of surveys, you can do lots and lots and lots of one-on-one conversation. But the thing is, the challenge which comes over here is how real or how honest is the response? Are they telling you what you want to hear, or are they actually telling you what they feel about the brand? So why don't we dive into the biggest focus group, which is open, easily accessible, the social media, where they're constantly tweeting how you're feeling about the brand, how they are liking the brand, what are their experiences about the same, what are the pain points, what are their desires about it. That is the key goal which we have about the social listening. So for savvy marketers, this is social media is not just going to be limited to posting or running ads over it. If you are not making a data resource, if you're not collecting this data, how your customers are feeling, how are they mentioning your brands, what are they saying about it. For example, Home First Home Loans. How did you feel about it? I felt happy, low documentations were there. Or if there's an ice cream brand, I like the flavors, I like how it was served. So there are a lot of things. We need to build a repository for this entire thing. If that is not being built, you are losing on a lot of data today. So let's understand that a brand is no longer what we tell consumer it is. That time is gone when there was just one side road. It is what consumer tells each other about the brand. We understood what is social monitoring and what is social listening. How monitoring is just being patient and observant about what is going about your brand and just diving in when something negative is going to happen. But social listening is a step further than that. So why is social listening so important? So when attention is the main currency, by social listening, you can understand what is the attention span that your consumers or potential consumers are giving. You can assess the brand health, whether you're going to launch again a new campaign, how people will feel about it. Is your brand actually going downhill? So that is all about assessing the brand health. Provide support. In a session which we had before, Mr. Rakesh very clearly said that he was at a hotel and he had a very bad experience and he was like, मुझसे feedback नहीं लो तो ही आपके लिए अच्छा है. Which is true. So he had a very bad experience. But what if that hotel people could have turned up and could have made his experience better? Today he would be vouching for that hotel made all the possible efforts, and he would be vouching today for that brand even though he's not a brand ambassador for it. So we are tired of having those we are sorry for your bad experience, we'll take care, this is not happening. It's not time to give back and again those same excuses or same reasons or same stories again. People want real answers. People want genuine apologies, or they want really to be heard about it. Because we are not interacting with just usernames or faceless people over there. They are real people. They have real feelings and they have real thoughts. So responding with a value is really important. Curtail crisis. Curtail crisis, a lot of times what happens is, this happened with ICICI Bank as well, if a lot of people know about it, where people had lost the trust and they started taking the deposits from the bank. They brought in Amitabh Bachchan at that point of time as the brand ambassador, and they tried to reinstate that trust into the people that no, this brand is still good and it still has your attention and your money is in the safer hands. So this crisis can be curtailed if you're actually listening to what sort of conversations the customers are having in the market about your brand. Monitoring campaigns. So it is whenever there is a campaign launch done by any digital marketing managers or the team, they know that they often check that, do you know how many clicks are happening, what's the sales, what's the ROI, because then the leadership is going to ask what's the ROI, what's the conversion, what's the ROI on the money that was spent. So with social listening, you can actually tag keywords and you can crawl the entire web and know how the campaigns are performing. So there's a very good example also over here. It's called the Arby's sauce. So they were selling this very great sandwiches. Like for 50 years, they were doing extremely well. But the sauce which they were selling along was not enough with that sandwich. And people used to tweet that how much they're liking the sauce, and they're always in the fear that the sauce will get finished before my sandwich does. Arby's looked into it, and they came to know that they were very closely tracking this entire thing. They found the opportunity, they started selling the sauce entirely as a thing, and they also brought a campaign, just like a apocalypse, they brought sauce-o-clops, which said that, this sauce is not going to get finished. You can have it. And it was a super hit marketing campaign for them. And they introduced a new channel also altogether, new product. Identifying opportunities is extremely important. With social listening, you can understand, apart from what your brand is providing, what are the extra opportunities? A lot of times we tell, यार ये ऐप में ये feature होता ना तो मस्त हो जाता, इसके अलावा क्या ही चाहिए था? और why is this feature not given along with this? Along with this product, if this service is given, I'm really willing to buy this product. So you can identify a lot of opportunities in that situation, and you can go heads on with it. So I'll also give an example of Ben and Jerry. When we think of ice creams, what do you feel? It's a summer thing. Also in US and the European countries, people used to feel the same. When it's a hot sunny day, after that you want to eat an ice cream. But what they observed was their clicks and sales increased in the winter season. That sounds so weird. It's snowing outside, it's raining outside, and still the sales is even going higher. They understood that when people were at home or watching television or Netflix at home and locked up in their home, they were still willing to have some ice cream. And that is why this is the campaign and the entire product they came up with. It was called Netflix and Chilled by Ben and Jerry. It was a super hit product, and in fact what they started doing was they started to do a weather forecast. It's a sunny day coming over, it's a monsoon time coming over, or it's a snowy day. On those days, they were spending more on their campaigns, and they were getting higher revenues. And, And research competitors. Who doesn't want to stay ahead of your competition? It's not a monopoly game. Everybody wants to get ahead of the noise. They want their brand to be outstanding, and people just recall it over anything else. So with researching competitors, with social listening, you can actually use keywords, which is in the industry being used by your competitors, and you can track what the consumers are telling about it, what are the bad experiences they are having over there, and by doing that, you can actually add those things to your product, and what happens in the end? You are creating better experience for your clients, for your customers, and they will prefer you. Have you heard about MX cards? Who doesn't? They charge some extra fees. This is one of the most common examples I feel which goes around. But people still will prefer the Amex card because they know the customer service guy is not going to hang the call unless your problem is solved. If you're in a foreign country, you have lost your card, he'll come, he'll find you, and he'll hand over the card to you. This is my personal experience. So even if they are creating that experience for me, people's spending capacity is increasing. You can have them just by creating great experience, and you can retain them over anything else. So let's also understand what are the emerging trends. So we spoke about social listening. It's going to crawl the websites. It's going to tell you what the brand is doing, how people are feeling about it, and rest of those things. But we also use a lot of SEO. How many marketers are there in this room who do understand? I guess most of you, and you do understand how important it is for you to retain your customers or to get new customers and have their loyalty at all time with you. So we do use SEO a lot of times to understand what things are being spoken about the brand, where are the missing links. So when you are crawling through the entire web and searching the trends where your brand is mentioned, a lot of times we have a bad experience. What we do, we won't directly tag the company, but we will go to the social media, एक tweet किया और उसको फैला दिया. All it takes is one single tweet or one single person to speak about your brand online, and thousands of them will join supporting them. And before you know, you're already into a soup. This can be stopped by social listening, and you can also know how to manage those ugly experiences before it comes up again. So you can do a lot of SEO and influencer marketing. So you'll also come to know who is talking about your brand. Is there some influence in the market who is influencing people? People are looking forward to him, and he's exactly what your brand talks about. You can find those people with social listening, and you can get along with them. Locating high-quality user-generated content. More than what a brand is going to post, what a third party is going to post, what matters really is a user-generated content has more trust over anything else. So with social listening, you can understand and you can find the users in the market who are actually spreading a positive word. You can get along with them and you can take their permissions and the consent to post their pictures, and you can have their words, and you can boost your brand further. Leveraging AI-powered monitoring. So if I don't talk about AI today, people will be like, what world you are in? Sora is there, ChatGPT is there, Delhi is there, everything is there. A lot of social listening tools are using AI tools now to use it along with the social listening tool. Thousands, so if your brand is there, if you are a renowned brand, hundreds and thousands and lakhs of mentions would be coming in. You cannot technically sit on every mention, यार इसने क्या बोला है, यार ये नेगेटिव है, ये पॉजिटिव है, इसको मैं आंसर करूँ नहीं करूँ. With AI, what you can do is, you can easily identify positive mentions, negative mentions, neutral mentions. Now, the negative mentions are the one you will want to efficiently answer first. So with AI, you can leverage your social listening and monitoring both, and you can improve the experience. So these are the few case studies I would like to talk about. You can also study about your industry. Just because you are into one sector or one particular service doesn't mean that you cannot forward integrate or backward integrate at any point of time. What you can do is, you can study your industry with what words are going, what people are talking about it, and you can develop an entire thought leadership over it, and you can enter that market as well. Starbucks is one such great example who is very consistently listening to its customers all the time. What Starbucks did is, has anybody heard about pumpkin spice latte? Yeah, great. So that's like a pineapple on the pizza. We would be like, yeah, pumpkin spice latte kaun lega? But pumpkin spice latte was introduced by Starbucks after listening to the request of the followers which it had on the social media. It started an entire product line. Southwest Airlines, anybody heard about that as well? One of the busiest, top busiest airlines. So they are receiving thousands and thousands of mentions every day, asking about the flight details, about the delays, about multiple things. What happens now is, if you're receiving thousands of mentions at the same time, can you manage it? Practically not possible, but with AI and a great team, yes, you can do it. So what you'll do is, they started a color coding system. Positive mentions in the green, negative in the red, and the product or the flight related details in the another color. They started to target a 15-minute response thing. They'll reply to any mention within 15 minutes. So what helps them is, with the color coding, they can easily identify where the problem is, who needs the fastest attention, and they can solve it immediately, creating a great customer experience. This has even recently started with IRCTC. If you're tweeting about IRCTC, you're in the train, you mention your coach number, or if the washrooms are not clean, or if the seat is not easily available, or there is some problem with it, they are actually also responding faster to this. Mumbai Police. How many of you are from Mumbai? I don't know. But yes, Mumbai Police, if you are tagging them on Twitter, and if you're in a genuine problem, they are reaching you. The most important, the police part which is there, if you're in a problem, these people are there. So a lot of people are just randomly tweeting or tagging them. They won't respond over there. But if you're in a problem, they know when to reach you, how to reach you. And that's what social listening is. It's not just limited to brands anymore, but also to the social services which are available in the nation. Fitbit. Does anybody remember there was this thing, you are sitting for a very long period of time, and they'll be like, please move. You are sitting for a very long period of time. You need to have more steps. Anybody with this experience? I guess this ma'am already has that experience. This was again one of the suggestions that was given by the followers which they had. A lot of followers were talking about it, and Fitbit, a new emerging brand today, and they are using these tools very actively to understand what they need to hear, how they need to solve the troubleshooting, and how they can improve the experience of the consumers. So what are the challenges? We talked about the emerging trends and everything, but obviously with all the emerging trends and tools and everything, there are always challenges that also come up. Quality and variety of data sources. What sort of This is a huge pool. It's not a limited closed group you are in. It's a huge focus group where people across the globe are present and they're talking about your brand. So there are some stats to this. 70% say that their company increased collection of consumer personal data over the last year. 62% say their company should do more to strengthen existing data protection measures, and 33% say consumers should be concerned about how their personal data is being used by the company. The company should know when and where to draw the line. How many of times this happens? You are talking about something and that ad pops up on your phone. We are so done with this कि हमें पता है कि if I want a gift from someone, I'll go close to their phone. I just want to put up these ads and just keep showing them. So you need to draw a line, what you want to listen, how much you want to listen, and where you are using it only for the personalization and not getting into their personal life. The general population said that 86% say data privacy is growing concern for them. Now YouTube, even Facebook and everyone is promoting this feature where you can go and delete your history of the data which they have collected. 68% are concerned about the level of data being collected by business. You have no idea. People ranging from the age group of 45 to 65 who are completely much new to the technology, apart from us, our parents say, they don't even know that their phone mics are on all the time. Their contacts are being used. Their gallery can be accessed by the company because nobody goes into that long list of terms and conditions which are there. 40% don't trust the companies to ethically use their data. This has happened so many times that we come to know that the data of this company was leaked. 30% aren't willing to share their personal data for any reason because they're already scared. I don't know what's going to happen with this next. So this is a very growing concern, and what companies can do about it is introduce multi-authentication password and privacy protections, and also learn about or also know about what are the policies that are related to the industry. And you can incorporate them with your company so that you know that you're not breaching any of the rules in different parts of the country or different states of the country. Apart from this, compliance and security. This is also great, what we also spoke about right now. We don't know the data where it is, and it is very important to keep this data secure. Okay, you're a company, you're collecting data, you're using it for marketing, for data, for personalization and everything. Are you keeping it secure? Because those consumers are trusting you with a lot of data today. So it's very important to make sure that the security is there, and also you can have a detailed policy termed out so that your consumers know what and where the data is going to be used, and they can feel secure about it. Budget limitations. In the world of marketing, there is always a concern, what's the ROI? Sales kitna hua itna kharachne ke baad? That's always a question. Acha, isko spend karke kya dhanda niklega? That's always a question, and it's going to stay. So while there is already cuts and slash going in the industry about the budgets, it is not possible that only, sorry, I'm just taking just 2 more minutes. Yeah. So what is happening is you cannot have just one listening tool which will give you the data from all the platforms. That's the limitation we are facing right now. You need multiple tools which come up with a financial load, and you might have to get it approved. So that's the budget limitation. Thank you. That's my time. So any questions? I'm sure there isn't much time for the questions left. But if anything is there, I'm there around. And or else you can tweet me because social listening all the time.
Thanks a lot, Ms. Asmi Gandhi, for sharing your wonderful knowledge on magnifying social media and social listening. To do the honors, I request Mr. Amol Gadge, Country Brand Lead Marketing Head at Pfizer, to please join us on the dais.